the people who are trying to normally cancel people are sometimes worse than the people who are actually being canceled, because they're doing the same thing back to them, which is like online bullying and affecting them. But I think at the same time, to me, it's like I know the context of my post, so I can back it up in a real way. If you can't back up what you're trying to say and you're just saying it to just create shit, then it's different. But
Or worse, saying stuff and then being like, because I said so, and not having any like.
Yeah, you have to be able to back it up. But I think also like when you build a community, and you probably know this, like the true people who you've built and talked to know who you are. And I think like if we wouldn't be human if we made one or two or three or 20 mistakes out there. But I think it's just knowing. I think although it's becoming like when you post, you have to have some empathy in your body. Like I think you gotta like say like this is controversial, but like is this like something that is like at this point in time in the world, is it gonna affect other people in the wrong way? Because like I saw a post yesterday where this like, I don't know if you saw it, but it was on Twitter, but this like Bain Capital posted a thing of like announcing their board, and it was all like men, and it was on International Women's Day, and it's like come on, like you got to have more like thoughts and like caring to know what day you're posting that on. It might just still got raft because you should have diversity in your board, and you should have, but I think like if you don't have empathy to know like this is not a good post, you're gonna get those
like who approved this content plan, Bane? Who approved this content plan?
Exactly. It's like who approved like posting this on, especially on a day where you shouldn't be posting it, and it shouldn't be posted at all because it was just like a weird post. But I think sometimes it's like, but I also have empathy for that person, because I'm like, I think that generally they were trying to say like hype up that they have all these good people in their company, and I think the intention wasn't to be like, I'm going to like be horrible like and screw people. So I think at the same time it's like, yes, that was a stupid thing to post, but at the other time it's like, I don't think the intention behind it was terrible. Like I don't think they were trying to necessarily hurt people. I think they just did something stupid at that point in time, and that's the difference. I think that when the intention is to go out and hurt people, I think that is a different, like when you're posting that type of stuff, I think just know what the intentions behind your post are before you post it. I think that's the biggest thing. If your intention is just to like create conversation, that's fine. Or it is actual genuine good, because some people get canceled for genuinely like things that they thought was right at the time, and it was culturally appropriate at the time and stuff like that, and I just feel like bad for them for that. But I think also, I do think that some people make mistakes, and also I've seen some people who generally should be canceled because they're saying terrible things, like they should be canceled. But I also think some of the cancelers are what they're going after these people. Like, would you want to be that person who someone's going after you, like off some of your posts? Like, think about it before you're going to go after someone, because it is hard to create, like it's hard to put yourself out there. So I think like if you're going to go and do that to someone, just think how you would like someone to just like go at you like that, even if it's in the workplace environment, stuff like that. I think you just gotta I just try to have that empathy, because I don't, and it's just because I've been posting for a while, like I don't go try publicly attack anybody. Even if they say something, if I do think something's wrong, I'll go in their DMs and be like, hey, like you shouldn't be posting this stuff like online. It's affecting people.
I was going to ask you, kind of circle back to marketing millennials, and I still want to do that because I think the podcast is awesome, and I know I've certainly, having just launched this one, would love to pick your brains about everything you did, because your podcast is huge now. But I think that's a really important point to make about this whole thing. Like, I know we flip-flopped between talking about marketing, personal branding, and social media and stuff, but the reality is when you put yourself out there, you do open the doors to people liking you, but also people really not liking you. And with everything being online, people will tell you that they don't like you in the most savage way. And kind of, it can be really difficult to deal with that sometimes. Have you had any experiences online where you've had really negative interactions with people, and if so, how did you handle them?
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I've got it a couple of times, and I get it on my podcast, and I get it. Like, people have came at me and said, "Oh, you say too many times on your podcast, and if I was had a drinking game, then blah blah blah. Like, I'll be drunk by then." And they say like some rude things, but at the end of the day, I think what I always go back to thinking of is like, how many people am I actually helping with this podcast, and then how many of those like there's that small like minor group of people that are attacking me actually like.
It's like, what's the upside versus the downside?
Yeah. And the downside is like, I'm going to get some of that. Like, I'm going to get people saying my content sometimes is basic. I'm going to get some people who are going to say, I'm not the best speaker, or I'm not the best marketer, or I'm not and I never claim to be. And I think, but the upside is if I look at my DMs and I get people coming to me and saying, I love your podcast, or I love this, it's helped me do this in my career, it's helped me advance in my career, like, that's what keeps me going. I think it's that positive reinforcement. And I go back when I see something negative to all my DMs, and that people have said something positive, and I'm like, okay, this is why I'm doing it. I'm doing like the other day I was almost going to say, like, I said to myself, should I quit podcasting because these people, like 3 people came at me because of they didn't like the way didn't pronounce words properly, or like I said like too much in the podcast. And then I thought to myself, all these people, there's tons of people that email me every day that say, I love your podcast and stuff like that, and why would I let these 2 or 3 people who keep saying mean stuff to me dull that? And I think that's what keeps me going, is that I know that I'm helping people, and I see it in the DMs, and it might not be those type of people. And that's also a good lesson, is like, some people aren't your audience, and you got to just accept it. Like, you got to accept that not everybody's going to like you. And that's what I realized. Like, I accept that not everybody's going to like my content, and not everybody's going to like me as a person.